This is Black Woman CEO. Welcome to the only podcast dedicated to giving you the raw and real experiences of successful Black women entrepreneurs. Yes, girl, we're talking about the behind the scenes strategies of what it takes to increase in your profit, power, and purpose. I am your host, Quanisha Green, and I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show. Welcome, everyone. This is Quanisha Green, founder of Black Women CEO, and so excited to you to come today with one of our Black women CEO experts. And I guess we can say we're with a CEO on the rise today, Alicia Buchanan. Hi, Alicia.
Hello, Quanisha.
I am so excited that you are joining me today to do this interview.
Yes.
So as everyone know, I always let our guests kind of describe themselves, who they be, right? Who you be. But I just want to share how I kind of am connected to Alicia. So Alicia, I think we met like years ago now, kind of online, both in a similar, I can say another Black women entrepreneur space. And that's how we got connected. And you've been in our Black Women CEO community for a while. Then we started working together in different capacities. So I've kind of seen you along your entrepreneurial journey and kind of where you are. So that's been really great. And Alicia is such a powerhouse, everyone. So I'm so happy to have her here today. And of course, there's so much more I can say, but that would be like a whole show in itself. So the best way for me to share Alicia is for us to just jump right into the interview. So Alicia, can you describe yourself beyond what you do? Let us know who you be.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you for having me on. So who I be, I would say that I am a wild, wonderful, wise woman. And I'm affectionately kind, spiritual, creative, and joyful. And I'm always like determined to seek truth, love, peace, and a meaningful life.
I love that. Truth, love, peace, and a meaningful life. I know many of us aim for the same. So can you tell us now a little bit more about what you do? Like, what is your mission and who are you here to help in this world?
Yes, absolutely. So my mission and what I do is my mission is to empower other soulful, creatives, and entrepreneurs, especially Black entrepreneurs. And I have a heart for women to be able to write their transformational book or life story so that the people they serve can also live a meaningful life too. And I've written 3 books to date, and I continue writing books, poems, and music. I'm a life and book writing coach, helping people go from transition to transformation. And by trade, I'm a clinical social worker and a social justice advocate.
Awesome. You have a lot of pieces and 3 books. Wow. A lot of people can't even get one done. Right. So I know you said your expertise is really helping, entrepreneurs, women, you can say experts to share their stories and write their own books. So can you tell us a little bit more about that expertise and why it's so important for folks to, engage in that type of work?
Absolutely. Well, writing is something that I've enjoyed all of my life, and it's been very transformational for me to be able to express myself. Like I said, I'm a creative, I think, at heart, really. And, having a meaningful life, you have to be able to express yourself and have an outlet, especially in your personal life beyond, what you do. But I think that this work is really my expertise in helping people to work through their traumas and being able to develop their story. Not everyone has experienced something so significant or, traumatic that they have to share that. But however, if they do, then I have that expertise where I'm able to help them work through that and be able to develop their story so that they can get their books done. And again, writing is a very powerful tool to be able to share your meaningful life and your life work with the people that you are called to serve. So I feel that and I came about this work from my own personal story. I have, dealt with multiple traumatic events and feel like life is always in transition, because that's how you learn and grow. So I think that this area of expertise is one that I'm able to share to help other people get their books actually done so that they can publish them and be able to share this meaningful work with other people.
That's so important because, like you said, it doesn't have to be traumatic, but we all kind of have a story, right? And many of us have done the work to glean like lessons from it. So you supporting people and helping them to actually organize that and, like you said, get it published, right? Get it actually out there in the world. Because some of us have those write-ins in our little notebooks where we where we've written down our lessons and we're like, okay, what's next, right? Or once again, they know that they had this intention and published but gotten stuck. So I love that. With your background as a clinical social worker, you're able to help people work through those various aspects of, doing the inner work that they need so that then they can do the outer work with their book. So thank you for sharing that. So how did you come to this way of owning your role as an expert and CEO in general, but also in this space?
Yes. So as I mentioned about, transitions, like that's been a really big theme in my life. And I've seen it parallel with the work that I do with other people. And so naturally, I just feel that the work that we are doing, it's going to parallel in your personal life. But life is an evolution ultimately. And, and the path is not always linear. Like we want to get to a destination, but there's going to be lots of hiccups and challenges. And you have to adjust and shift. And one thing I can say is like, I appreciate the encouragement that you have given me during some tough times, as I've shifted in life and continuously redefined what my role as an expert and CEO has been throughout the years, stepping into business.
I like that you talked about transitions and you kind of acknowledged your journey, that it didn't just arrive one day, right? That is there. So, and thank you for acknowledging that. I know we've worked together and really helping you also to, grow in that. So where would you say you are right now and viewing yourself as a CEO? Like, what does that mean to you at this moment?
What that means to me is owning that this is something that I am doing, and the work that I'm doing is meaningful. It also means, that I show up, that I actually show up and, do what I say I'm going to do and be professional. And a little bit later, I'll talk about some of the challenges that has been for me to own my role. But what it means to me now is even if there are transitions that are going on in life, still showing up in my role and being able to share that with the people that I'm serving so that it can benefit them. But it means that I'm in this space where I'm able to I would say be proud of the work that I'm doing and be compassionate about it so that I can be able to serve the people that I'm working with. But it's a continuous process of moving through this work in a creative way so that I can show up. I would say show up and show out and be able to serve, people. Because life is going to happen. We're Black women and we know that things happen in life that are unexpected, things that are going on in the world outside of our control. But showing up and having a schedule, having a routine, sticking with it, and owning that role as an expert and a CEO and being able to promote and put myself out there, like, actually being here on your podcast and being able to share what I do and not be afraid to say that this is who I am and I'm here. This is who I am, and I'm not going to apologize for being who I am and being able to share it with the world because it's what I'm supposed to do.
Love that, being unapologetic about who you are. And for those who don't know, in our kind of, I want to say, inner circle of Black Women CEO, we always talk about showing up and showing out, right? That willingness to promote yourself. But I love you also mentioned like being professional, right? And being committed. That's the other part of really taking on your role as a CEO. So, I would say like as a mama bear coach, I'm like, oh, she's using the language. Yeah, she's owning the stuff that we teach. But yeah, it's so
Yes.
important. Yes, the CEO is your vision and your revenue, but then also it's the like you internalizing what a CEO means to yourself. So that was really great to hear how, your perspective around how you're seeing yourself. And like you said, it's an ever growing piece. So just to go back a little bit, because of course we have a lot of listeners who may just be starting their journey. So what made you decide to start your business?
Well, I decided to start my business. Wow, it feels like it's been quite a journey actually. Um, so it was kind of like a two-part story. I started what seems like I'd be telling my age if I share when, but it's been quite a while when I started started more in a consulting role and sharing some things that I was doing inside my job. And then a little bit later on, like maybe some years later, when we actually met, I wanted to redefine who I was because I felt undervalued in the job that I was doing, and I didn't feel like I had the freedom to actually do what I love doing. And it just felt like, you're working for a job and you're giving away your value and other people are taking the credit for it. You're not being acknowledged and, underpaid and so many other different things. And so I wanted to have the freedom to do what I love to do on my own terms and be an expert, be acknowledged as an expert and get the value that I deserved. And I wanted to have more time with my family and not be limited to when I could do the things that I enjoy doing, like being able to travel, like actually take the time off to travel and have more time for self-care and personal growth. Not having to be so overwhelmed with coordinating my schedule to just go to a doctor, like being able to go to a doctor when I want, being able to see a therapist when I want it without having to request time off and, have a busy workload and just wondering like, when am I going to actually get time to take care of myself? So I wanted to have more freedom to do those things and also get the value that I deserved. And also I wanted to be able to share my personal story because I just feel like, you don't have to be perfect in this journey. We all have something that we can share with the world, but I wanted to be able to use my voice and use my writings to benefit other women who are out there, suffering in silence and dealing with things and show them how they can be empowered to do the same things.
Yeah, I love that. It sounds like at the end of the day, it was like taking charge of your life, right? Like you said, own your time, having the freedom, being able to live on your terms and really the means, right, to do that. And I know definitely people will resonate with that. So that's why many of us start, right? It doesn't always have to be like, oh, this happened. It's just like, hey, this is what I'm desiring. And this is a
Yes.
vehicle to definitely get there. So with that, what were some of your early challenges that you faced? And then how did you overcome them?
So in the beginning, it was challenging for me to own my role as CEO and expert independently from like my 9 to 5 work that I was doing. However, I was already the expert in my job, but I always felt I had to be vetted as a CEO outside of that. And I think that's something we get conditioned to because we're used to working. If you're used to working for other people, when you really step out in the role as a CEO, you have to set your own schedule. You have to be accountable to yourself, but that confidence that you're needing to put yourself out there. Working my business without feeling judged or fear of what other people would think about me if I'm self-promoting my work on social media or in the public. So it was a lot of inner work that I had to continue doing to build up my confidence and continue working through my personal story and learning and growing. And also having a support team was very beneficial so that I wasn't doing everything on my own, which really goes against, what we're talking about self-care and collaborating with other people and working together. But getting that support team was really beneficial to help me overcome some of my challenges, like working with you and, having other online communities, Black women communities. It's really important.
I love that you mentioned that because we don't, as Black women, we're all often socializing the strong Black womanhood, right? Where it's like I gotta do it myself. If I want it done right, I gotta do it myself. And then I also find like this can be trust issues, right? Trusting that someone would do it
Yes.
as well as you, or like someone won't steal your ideas, or if you let an assistant in, they won't destroy what you have created. And then also trusting someone with your vision, trusting and investing in someone to help you. So there's a lot of fears around actually spending our money on things to like teach us a process, right, to make, like you said, a shortcut, right, so that you can avoid some of the roadblocks and do it faster. So I'm glad that you mentioned that was an important part of your journey, right? It wasn't just like, oh, I read 1,000 books. It's like, oh no, I asked for help.
Yes.
I asked for help with all of this. So with all those things, like you are, like you just said, you have a lot, you have a family. So how have you integrated work and business, life, self-care, and family? Like how are you managing all those pieces, or have over the course of your entrepreneurial journey?
Yes, absolutely. Over the course of my entrepreneurial journey, it's been a learning curve. It's been a lot of growth and adjustments and transitions. As I mentioned, I'm constantly in transitions, and family looks different for me. However, I continue to make it a priority with self-care and my family, making that a priority in everything that I do. But it comes down to first knowing myself and my limits and what they are. Like, for example, I know that, sleep, I need sleep. I need mindfulness work, whether that's deep breathing or taking some kind of breaks. I need movement and a balanced nutrition, some good food and some good connections and community. Those things are important for my well-being. So I have to prioritize myself as an asset in the work that I do, and also time with my family and community.
Wow, well, thank you for sharing all those different parts. And I love that you really have, it sounds like a practice around your personal self-care. I really am of that mind frame that, we have to give from our overflow. And if you don't have to, like, if you're not okay, you have nothing to really give to other people. So I love that you talked about all the things that you do for yourself, right? And then also staying connected. I feel like there's also this mentality kind of in the entrepreneur space of like you can't have a life while still running a business, and you seem to have actually made it a priority to still have a life and be connected to your communities as a vital source of you being able to actually show up then for your business and do the work. So thank you for sharing that part. And so we all know you just said you wrote 3 books. So how do you go about setting goals?
Just having grace and compassion with yourself and getting a support team early on to help you. And that can be something as simple as having a coach who you aspire, they're in the next level where you aspire to be, and they can support you in the work that you are doing. Having some help, with my wellness as well, like having a therapist, but really just an overall support team to make sure that I can show up gracefully in the work that it is that I'm doing.
Awesome, awesome. So no woman is an island. Get support, everyone. Get support. And Alicia just named a whole bunch of different ways to do that. So what is your personal mantra, Alicia? A motto or even a saying, a quote that you live by?
Yes, I have several, but I'm going to share this one that, is near and dear to my heart. And again, I'm very spiritual. So this one is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So my faith is really, it's really important to me. And I live by that motto, just holding on to my faith and believing that I can do things, and, the wisdom and the spirit within me will guide me and lead me to the right support, the right resources, and give me the strength that I need to carry on. Celebrating your own success. You can acknowledge other people and where they are, but if you feel that jealousy is starting to creep in, just getting focused, focusing on your own shit. Staying in your own lane, because you don't know what you don't know. Like, everyone has a success story of their own of how they got to where they are. And, other people have walked through fire and hell to have those highlights that they have on social media. But focusing on your own story and celebrating every step of the way, like literally, if you got a phone call made, celebrate making that phone call. If you got an interview, or you got a blog post featured in someone's, blog post or whatever it is, just celebrate.
Right. Awesome. Well, that was going to be my next question. The number one success strategy you have for the woman who's in those early phases of building a business. So as you all heard, Alicia just shared that with you to really focus on your journey and celebrate along the way. So thank you, Alicia, so much for coming on. And so for listeners who want to connect with you or get your support with helping them to share their stories and get their books published, how would they stay connected with you?
Absolutely. So there are two ways that you can stay connected with me. I'm on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You can connect with me at the number one, Alicia Buchanan. So that's one, ALICIABUCHANAN. And my website is www.aliciabuchanan.com. Now, as I say, I love to connect with you guys, and there's also a free resource guide that you can download on my website at aliciabuchanan.com and connect with me that way and get more information.
All right, awesome. So we'll make sure that her website is there in the show notes so that you can grab that free guide. Well, thank you again, Alicia, for coming on our Black Women CEO podcast and sharing more about your story as you grow as a CEO on the rise. Oh, girl, the episode stopped, but the party is not over. I want you to go ahead and subscribe, like, and rate this show. Leave us a comment sharing your takeaways. And when you're done with that, come on over to blackwomenceo.com, join our movement, and when you do that, you'll get the special invitation to join us in our community. Well, I would love to put a face to that name, girl. So this is Quanisha signing off, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Peace and love.